Two other versions of it. They all stand on a single point, and both of these are 216 sheets. And this is a different type of base fold that's the same pattern, same number of sheets. So in making this 216 sheet sculpture, you're gonna make 6 identical surfaces that are all 36 sheets. And you can see how easily it can come apart. It's quite delicate. So if you're not making it the way that I'm showing you, you're really gonna struggle. And you're gonna make 216 of these pieces here. And each one is folded like this, where you bring it into the center and then half it. You tuck the bottom in on both sides. Now there's so many variations that you can continue to fold this, but for the basic cube, we're gonna keep them all flat to make the surfaces. And these are both 2 different 24 sheet versions. For some reason, parts of it, making each one of these is harder than the big one I'm doing right here. So this one, you would just connect 4 and then bring these tabs down for each surface all around it. And the way that I would start, each little tab we have will slide right into these. But they come apart really easily, so I would suggest keeping it flat and holding it down as you build it. Because the further you go, the more it'll be held together. So that's the premise of it. But an easier way to do it is to tackle the harder section first, which should be all 4 converging. So slide that one in. And they may come apart a little bit as you do it, not a big deal. Just apply light pressure and keep it together. So that's the start of 4 of them. And if I were making the other cube, they'd be put together this way, where all of them tuck in the corner. So I'll start with a couple of those and put them together. And if you don't have square paper, there's a video I'm putting on my channel that's a really easy way to just turn any computer paper, construction paper. It only takes a minute or 2 and you can scale a bunch of sheets down. So you see how I put those 2 together, and then I will complete the 4 everywhere I need to. So that's the first spot. And then I can complete this one as well. And I'm just holding it down slightly so that it's not coming apart. And that allows you to be a little more aggressive with the part you're addressing. And then I will kind of loop around the whole thing. And periodically, I'm just going to flatten it and apply pressure slightly to keep it in place. So that's where we're at so far. And you just continually add them. There's one. And each of these squares, as you complete them, can be a different version of how it's put together. But the one that I'm making is my favorite because it stands on that little point. Okay, so like we were doing before, we're going to complete the 4 on these. See, came apart, not a big deal. I mean, I'm doing this standing up, which is a little awkward, but something you can kind of get used to for me. Let's tuck that 4 in, and then do the same thing here. It's been a long time since I made one of these, so it's a bit of a learning curve. For me, this first one is a little strange, where by the 6th one that I'm doing, it's probably a lot more efficient. Okay, we're getting there, just a couple more. So I'll connect these. And then do the same thing on the opposite side, completing the 4. The really fun part is when you get to put these together. And the last side right here, there's 3 sheets left. So now that it's together, although it's delicate, you can still pick it up and move it around. And the last thing you're going to do is fold all these edges in. So let me... What I mean by that is you're going to tuck all these, and there's 1, you just fold them all up to that point. 2, 3, 4. So if each one of these, this video, I think it's about 9 minutes so far. If I weren't talking and sitting, it would probably be maybe 6 minutes, I'm guessing. Just trying to give you an estimate of how much time this 200 sheet piece like this takes. Okay, so I have all these done. I'm going to flatten them back out for now and flip it over, and then really tighten it up and set it aside. And I now have 2 of them done, which means 4 to go. So instead of having you watch this next part for 45 minutes to an hour, I'm just gonna make 6 of these and then show me putting them together. So once you finish making all 6 faces, this is how you start to combine all 4 edges. 2 of these are already put together. and then I'll show you how to combine two more. You want to make sure it's pushed together as tightly as it can be. And you're essentially just going to tuck these in the same way you'd been doing it before. They're bound to come out a little bit, which is not a big deal. You just have to slightly put them back in. So there's two of them and the third right here. And now we will connect both of these together. So it's one long strip of 4. Like I said, they're bound to come out a little bit. A little bit, that's a little too much there. Got to get more used to working through a camera. Ooh. Nobody's perfect. See how I kind of backtracked there, just figured it was easier. And this is supposed to be the easiest part, so it's only the second one of these I've ever made, and I'm doing it standing up as well. So bear with me, I'm trying to do the best I can. And at this point, we have the full strip of 4. And make sure everything is in as good as it could be, because we're going to flip it over. And to do that, just fast and easy. You don't want to pull anything. You just want to hold it, lift it, and go over. And these tabs that we already folded, make sure they're in all the way, because that's what kind of helps it stand. So I'm folding all those back. And when we made each square section, we crease these, which is what will help bring this up. But first, I'm gonna, once again, just put pressure on it and condense it so everything's in as tight as it can. And this is another part that's quite tricky, because we're gonna end up turning it on its side and connecting the two ends opposite of each other. So I'll start by doing this one. You don't have to go all the way in like that. But the better form the cube is, the easier it'll be to connect them. And there's another one that came off, but it's okay. See, now it can just sit upright. And this is where it gets super tricky, but at the same time, the more you do, the more held together it will be. And right now, start to bring these together. Maybe a little hard to see how I'm gonna put these together from this angle, but once I do the tops, it's just the same process. You just have to be really careful and slow. I will be very surprised if this goes smoothly. So we're connecting these the same way we have done. You just don't want it to come apart. This is 2 of the 3. And then I have the bottom one. Smoother than anticipated, great. So now to complete the top, actually the first thing you should do is kind of bring these out, because it'll help you lay the other one in. I've also done this entire thing standing, which is not something I'm accustomed to. So we have that ready for the top to go on. And we bring in another one of the surfaces that we'd already built. And really make sure it's as tight as it can be. That's as far as I can zoom out at the moment. So let's see how well we can see this. You're just gonna set oh, see that piece it came off too. If you notice that, I didn't. It's this corner. Okay. Let's do it right. See how that just sits? And alrighty, here's where it really comes together. We'll see how well. I'm just going to start with a placeholder to center it, which will be doing all the centers here. Looking great. So I've got these other 2 ends, and then I'll slowly work my way around it. So there's all 4 of them to center it. And these look like they're raised but they're just gonna tuck right in and just be soft and delicate, but deliberate. Okay, see this spot here too? Be mindful of anything that might begin to come apart. And at the very end of this, you can really tighten it up, but we're just trying to get the form where it's going to be held in place. I'm going to get back to that piece at the end that is really not cooperating. Maybe if I sit down. Yeah, see, it's so much more comfortable to be at this angle compared to standing arched over with my back. And this is the last one for this top. And as I was saying, once it's here, it starts to really get held. And at the end, I guess I'll go back because this fold, it's big enough that you can reach inside of it and just really make it cleaner. The goal at this point, though, is to make sure it's just not going to come apart. So now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other end. So what we do is a lot stronger than the first one. There's the inside. And you might want to double check and just make sure all the sides, that none of them are starting to come out. And this looks great. You can just see everyone. And you can also get an idea how much stronger it is at this point. And once again, bring these up. There is one spot that's off there. I could feel it. So I'll just turn it around. And I'm going to try to sit down for this whole, when I'm putting this whole one on. Seemed to be a lot easier for me. Okay, and we have our other top piece. And once again, just make sure it's as tight and compact as it'll let it be. Okay. Then we're just gonna lay it over. And as before, just to center it, we're gonna go all the way around with, oh, and that's why we do the center. You don't want it collapsing in. Okay, time to sit down. I'll reiterate this again. I've only made, this is the second one of these I've made, and I'm doing a majority of it standing with an arch back. So hopefully it's sufficient enough for you to really see it. And I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here so you can just see the spots I'm working on as you go around. So you'll tuck the top in, and then you can see here, it's just the same thing. I can't even see that. I was just sitting at the opposite end. But yeah, there you go. And now I will just build my way around it. Now that's how easy it should be. See, I can feel right here how strong it's become, but if you're noticing that it's weaker, that just means it's come apart in other places. So just take a minute and look around it and see if there's anything you can tighten up. And this will be the last side. And I'll do a quick inspection. Alrighty. And a spot, let's see here, let me zoom out. See how these are a little looser? You can just go through and try to bring it together a little bit and address any spots or even them out. That side looks pretty good. And it's not a bad idea to just give it time and go back to it in a few hours or tomorrow and just really with kind of a fresh start, tuck it in more, tighten it up. But spots like this you want to avoid. If you're able to complete this, I would love to see it. And that's it. I mean, thank you guys for watching. Kind of go around it a little bit. And it will sit on all corners here. I'm just gonna take the time and let it sit and go back, touch it up a little bit.